Good.
Whoa.
All right.
Wait the fifth.
The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the meeting. I don't have the date. I'll have it.
18th.
October 18.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I make a motion, we accept them as written.
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Oh, hello, Mr. Bright. John, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you. We had a good discussion this afternoon, and I think you can fill us in on what's going on.
Can we get rid of this cookie in the middle of our presentation, our meeting?
Just click the button that says okay.
Or continue.
It's only on your screen, Bill. It's not on everybody.
All right, no, I found the push button and very good.
Sure. So at our last meeting, we had talked about the potential of a special town meeting, and the following day I reached out to Derlin, and the town already has one scheduled to take care of some other business in early March. So we are going to be able to jump on board with that meeting. I think I don't have a 2022 calendar, but I think it's like the 9th of March. It's a Tuesday, I think. So that was good news, because I don't think we would have got one all on our own.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, John, for doing that.
Yep, so that puts the potential, of course, when I found that out, I had a discussion with Greg. He did a quick overhaul of the bid package and in hopes to be able to get the north dock abutment done in the spring of 22. It would be the smaller of the two abutments. The other one would have to be done in the fall, as we had previously planned. So that was all good news, and that all worked to our favor. So our complete package will be on that special town meeting. So we won't have anything for this for the regular town meeting, because it'll already be done.
So in other words, we're going to request after the bids come in, the amount of money for both projects.
That's correct, yes. We're gonna do it all in one go.
Right. Okay, good.
Because it is one project.
It's two separate bids though, for each of the piers, or is it all one?
It's one package, just one can be done in the spring and one would be done in the fall.
But a single company would bid on the entire package, not one or the other.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, and the bids did go out, and we sent 9 packages to local contractors that would have the availability to do the work, and then it was advertised in the Bangor Daily, and all the information is on the town website if any of you want to go look at the full bid packages.
Yeah, I think that's good news, and takes a lot of the anticipation out of having to wait so long, not just for town meeting, but the bidders. Plus, we can get a lot of the work done in the spring.
Yep.
Anybody have any comments or questions?
How long do they think like the North Dock would take? I can't remember, just curious. 8 weeks or 3 weeks or what?
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fairly simple deal, really. There's nothing overly complicated about it. Once they get the platform poured, I mean, it's basically stacking stone and pinning it. I don't know. I couldn't imagine it would be more than a few weeks, but maybe I'm wrong.
And they need to, part of the bid is for them tearing out the old one, I presume.
Yeah, but that's one huge piece of concrete. I mean, they maybe break it into 2 or 3 pieces and grab it with an excavator and throw it in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
It's
No.
relatively simple.
John, are we thinking of putting a temporary access ramp to the North Pier?
we're looking at right now, my plan is to put an access from the commercial dock over to the north dock.
Okay. All right.
That would just cut off the, like, those 18-foot or less boats in the back. Is that the idea?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
But that time of year, there's not a lot of activity back there and we could accommodate them in other places.
Would it would diminish use of that hoist though, too?
It would. Yep. It's gonna be the same thing when we do the other side potentially, but it's also looking ahead at now we're in the 5 to 9 year range on our main pier. We're gonna have a good 3 to 4 months where we have no hoists.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, the hoists are over in Seal Harbor may get a lot of use that winter.
Very good. Do we have anything else we want to bring up?
Well, we just have what's on the agenda here. I wanted to do a quick update on the mooring rental season. All of those numbers come back. I'm sure maybe one or two of you may have got a check in the mail for your rentals. The mooring season, it was up 30% from last year. We had, in my calculations, 4 to 5 weeks where every night we was turning people away because their mooring field was at capacity. Normally on a normal busy summer, I have 4 or 5 nights a season that I do that. Our numbers, a little over $100,000 we brought in on mooring rentals. Just for reference, last year was down a little bit. We only brought in about 65,000. So we had quite an increase. That's the most I've ever seen for mooring income.
What about from, last year when it was the pandemic, what about the year before compared to this year?
The year before, I think probably was in the 70 range, 75.
Yeah.
That would be a normal year. So we were, up 20-25% over a normal year.
Yeah.
It was
you've got-
really amazing.
And you had the launch running this year, so I'm sure that helped too, right?
It did. Last year was just down all the way around because
I see.
it was too late before our governor gave people the news that they needed to see whether they could come or not. So this year, people came with a vengeance. And it was a busiest summer we've ever had here. And I had a brand new crew, had a brand new deputy. Everything worked extremely well. I was pretty amazed how it went off with only really 2 returning kids. So we did good.
Good job. Thanks.
And, next year I think it's going to carry on. There's a lot of interest already from the summer boaters about coming back for people that maybe last year or the year before was their first visit with us. So that's good news, because for a while there, I started to see like the older generation was fading away and the younger ones weren't coming, but I think it's really turned around and it's blooming again.
It's good. Well, we can all be proud of everything that's going on down there. And congratulations to you, John, and your crew. And let's keep up the good work.
Yep. So next on the agenda is it's that time of year when we talk about summer rates.
Yeah,
We
I've had it suggested that we're low.
Yep. So I did some research last week, and we did bump our rates 10 cents this year. So, I run us against Dice Arts, Front Street, the town of Camden, and Lyman Morse, which is also in Camden. Really Dice Arts is our main competitor. They're a little more expensive than us on the under 50-foot stuff. We're pretty close with them on the 50 to 60-foot stuff. The 60 to, they go from 60 to 100. We're pretty close there, only 10 cents difference, but they have a 100 and over category, which we don't have. We have a 60 and over category. My recommendation is that we leave everything that we have in place alone and add a 100 plus category. We're getting more and more of these boats that are coming, and just for reference, Dysart's charges $5 a foot for anything over 100 feet. We're charging $4.05 a foot.
As a reminder, John, can you tell us what our rates are right now?
Yep, I will. So 0 to 49 feet is $3.05 per foot. 50 to 60 is $3.55 a foot. 60 and over is $4.05 a foot. My recommendation would be that we add a 100 plus foot range, and Dysart's is charging $5 a foot. I think if we maybe bumped it to, did $4.50 a foot, because that would be a 45-cent increase on our customers that are used to coming with us. That's a fairly large increase, but I don't think they would blink an eye.
How
It probably
many
would be-
over 100 footers do you have?
Oh, probably 10 to 15 over the course of the year. Two-
What would be the overall increase in fee revenue, do you think, roughly?
Well, I mean, if you're talking adding 50 cents a foot,
Yeah.
you know, on a 100-foot boat, that's what,
$50 a day.
$50 a day. So
That's nothing
Well,
on those
No.
pictures.
for like the boat Dreams, they're here for roughly, 50 to 60 days. There'd be roughly $3,000 bump on them. I mean, they're used to paying upwards of $10 to $12 a foot down in the mid coast of the United States and down that way. It's not going to affect them at all. The other boats that are coming are staying for, a week. David Reese's boat would fit in that category where he's over 100 feet now. He's staying for 45 to 50 days. It's not gonna make a difference to them, but I think most of these other places that I'm comparing us to are doing this,
Does this include electrical?
No, it does not.
Tell us what that fee is.
So electric is for a 30 amp plug, which is for, your normal 40-foot and under boat. It's $15 a day. A 50 amp would normally get you up into the 60-foot range. That one is $30 a day. The 100 amp is $45 a day, and most of the big boats are using 2 of those.
And that covers our electricity.
Yeah, we're making money on electricity in the summer. We just upped our rates by $30 for the winter because we were just barely breaking even. So we're probably making a little money in the winter now, but most of it, we're making up our electricity money in the summer.
So if you had 250 footers on you'd be making way more than 100 footer, I think, right?
2 50-foot boats?
Yeah.
No, you would not be making as much.
Are you in?
Because the per foot rate on a 50-footer is less than the per rate on anything over 60 right now.
Well, she said 2 50-footers.
Yeah, but 250 footers would get charged out at $3.55 per foot.
Right,
A
so,
100 footer would get charged out at $4.05 a foot, so it would be
Yeah,
more
you're
money.
right. Yeah. Anybody else have questions?
Well, I think that those boats that we're talking about, we see them every year. And they're here because they want to be in Northeast Harbor. They're not gonna go to Southwest because of $1.
No, and Southwest charges more money.
No, I know, but my point is, even if we went to $5, those guys want to be in Northeast Harbor no matter what.
You're correct, but I think a 95-cent increase in 1 year would be really, really pushing it.
I suggest,
How are we compared
I-
to the Southern Maine, Forest Street and those places? I mean,
Well, Front Street does a 70 foot and over. They're $4.25 a foot. Camden and Lyman Morse, Camden is anything over 60 feet is $6.50 a foot. They have
Whoa.
very limited space. Lyman Morse does anything over 100 is $6.25.
Make a motion, we go to $5 for vessels over 100 feet per foot.
I agree.
Is that seconded?
I second it.
so what,
So
well, before we approve this, I want to just understand. If we went to $5 a thing, that's 95 cents. Is that right, John?
That's correct.
So 95 cents is roughly, a little more than 20% increase. Is that right? So that's probably close to a 25% increase.
Yeah, it's $100 a day increase on a 100-foot boat, basically.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it as a percentage. That's all.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going up at 25% on the big boats.
Well, we haven't calculated it, but it sounds about right. The motion is that we go to $5 a foot for boats 100 plus. Is that right, Chris?
Correct? Now
Yes.
seconded by Litchfield.
And seconded. Any other discussion?
So how does that compare with the other marinas? Let's just go back over that. I mean, at $5.
It'll put us even with Southwest Harbor. It'll put us 75 cents above Front Street. And it will be $1.50 and $1.25 below Camden, the town of, and Lyman Morse.
So we're in the middle.
And
Yeah,
do you want, you want
I-
to spend
Let
Belfast?
me just finish. I've heard from a yacht owner that we aren't charging enough.
oh,
That's a direct quote. They're comparing it to Southern Maine and the rest of the Atlantic coast. It sounds like a big jump to us, but I think it's affordable. And we're gonna have major expenses when it comes to this main pier. I think we need the revenue myself, so I think we're, go ahead, whoever wants.
I call for the vote.
Well,
Any
I
other
just want-
discussion? Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to just add one thing. I think what John just said, comparing to other marinas, we're justified with that price. I mean, we can have that price, and I don't think we have to feel bad with anyone. I mean, we're in the ballpark.
I'm gonna suggest too that the inflation rate's gonna start taking effect too. And we're probably in the ballpark. I happen to agree. You ready for a vote, folks? Okay, I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor of Chris's motion to raise it for $5 a foot over 100 feet, 100 and over, raise your hand, please.
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Thank you.
yeah, I'm
Opposed?
gonna, you go down to places like Nantucket and stuff and they're paying twice what they're paying here. And our
That's what I've been
expenses are
told.
just as high.
That's what I've been told,
Yeah.
Jim.
I mean, I can remember 8 years ago, spending a couple nights in Nantucket then on a 40-foot sailboat, and it was $300 a night.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay. Anything else on the rate, John, you want to talk about?
No, that was my only recommendation, was to add the 100+ line, and that puts us in line with most every other marina that would be a competitor for us.
Okay.
how did our mooring rates compare with all these other places too?
We're a little higher than like Camden. Camden's really the only harbor, I guess. Camden and Belfast, we're a little higher than their mooring rental rates. One of them offers a launch boat, but I think we're pretty much in line with where we need to be mooring wise. I don't see any big differences from us. We're a little more expensive than Southwest Harbor. So
But we have the launch and we have the Yachtsman Center they don't have, so.
exactly, we have more amenities. So I don't think that there's a need to adjust anything there.
All right.
I'd just like to ask, while we're talking about rates, we raised the rate on the commercial fishermen something or other for significantly, it went up from like 2,500 to $5,000 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what, but something crazy like that. And I'm just wondering, my question though is, like, that's gone in effect now, and I'm just wondering what the feedback is from that, if any.
That has not gone into effect. That was for the seafood buyers. It went from 2,000 to 5,000, and that will go into effect on January 1.
Okay, all right, so we haven't heard yet. Okay,
None of them have probably heard yet.
I see. They don't know. Got it.
But it was what they're getting charged in Bass Harbor, and we were being on the same level as all the other harbors, I believe.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we're on par with Southwest.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on our agenda?
I'll just say, the parking committee, it didn't meet last month because I haven't had time to compile the results. So we'll meet as soon as I compile those results and talk about what we discovered.
Okay, Howie, thank you. Jim?
Well, I brought up something about Seal Harbor, whether we started looking into expanding the floats over there, or is that something that will, because there were complaints that the yacht club kicked out a lot of people, and now we need more public floats.
The yacht club kicked people out?
They put a size limit on what could be in there.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
It was pretty tight this summer, being
And
one of
I've
those
had
people.
mention that maybe it would be nice to have another float on the main pier too, out for,
But parallel with the other ones?
yeah,
Just an
Well,
extension of the other two.
yeah, a real boat float, not something just for dinghies.
No, I understand.
So at one time, we did have a T off of the end of the dinghy dock float. I mean, that's something we could look at putting one back again.
Yeah, but that isn't the problem, is it? I think it's the space to tie up a bigger boat. Coming in,
Both,
it's both.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say the majority of what I feel for pain is the dinghy dock itself not having enough room.
Yeah, I mean, we have 80 feet of frontage over there with 40 feet, or a tie up on both ends of that, plus on the inside where the maintenance float is. There's potential for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 40-foot boats to tie up at the same time.
But Seal Harbor?
Sure.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
80 foot of frontage. You know, you can put a boat on each end of that 80 feet on the, you know, the north and south end, I guess. And then there's you know, like a 50 foot section on the inside, where we call it the maintenance float, you know, to tie up.
Yeah.
But you can't tie boats on the end if you have boats across both long sections.
If they tie it up right, you probably could.
All right,
But
good luck with that.
I can tell you that, you know, all of you know that Seal Harbor takes a pounding from all of the wave traffic, plus all of the surging and the rolling coming in there.
Yeah.
Those 4 floats alone there, you know, surge back and forth pretty hard.
Yeah.
Twice this year, they've surged so much that they broke the ears on the ramps and I had to replace them.
Well,
So adding another 20 by 20 out there is just gonna make it worse, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think we could do something for the dinghy dock people with a, you know, a T off of the end of the dinghy dock piece and add a, you know, a 20 foot T out there.
Yeah.
That would open up, you know, 20 to 30 more feet of tie-up space.
I kind of agree with John. I remark on what I call boat hogs, dock hogs, people that come in with a 26-foot something or other, and they tie up in the middle of a 40-foot float. And it's basically like taking up 2 parking spaces, parking in the middle of the dotted line.
yeah,
And it happens in Northeast all the time.
yeah.
It drives me nuts, but I
I'm glad
think
I'm
that,
not the only one.
yeah, and anybody that does any boating notices it. It happens daily. I got an idea, it's more of a case of that than we needing another float, but
Yeah.
anyway.
But I think we do need to do something about them.
Go.
Do something about the dinghies.
Yeah, if we could do something with it for the dinghy float, that would be good.
Yep, no,
Green.
I was looking through our inventory of tubs and stuff the other day up behind the highway garage, and I think I have the equipment or the stuff to probably build a, you know, upwards of a 20-foot T to put on there. If that's, you know, a route that you want to go, the highway guys probably would be happy to have something extra to do inside where it's warm this year and build us a float if you guys want to go that route.
What's
You know, we already- it would
what's your
be-
feeling, guys?
I would highly encourage it.
Is that a
That's
motion?
I would motion for it for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to motion for whatever John said, the 20-foot T on the end, if that's what can work. Or
And I-
however he wants to make it happen.
And this is Donna, and I'd like to second that. I agree totally.
Good.
And the cost really would be just deck boards. I think I have everything else we need to build it, other than a few brackets.
John, while you're building that, you know, the end where you're gonna put it on, that's all crumbled away, you know, like where you tie up. I don't know what those things are called, but you know, the riser, so to speak, where you can
The
tie.
tie-up rails, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
It
really,
takes a beating.
yeah. So if you can clean up that end too, that'd be great.
All right,
Well,
we
that,
have
one
we have
more
a
thing.
motion. Pardon me? What do you want, Jim?
Oh, I was gonna, after we vote on this, I've got one more thing.
Okay. I'm gonna call for a vote on this dinghy float. We've had it moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, John, you have a new mission.
We'll get it built.
Jim, what's up?
Well, I was gonna ask John and the new design for, I don't know, the garden club that's doing, would they consider putting a paved path that goes by the tennis court where everybody and his brother shortcuts and it's just worn dirt now?
I think that would be when they bring their plan to us to get our take on it, that would be a great time to ask them about that and.
Yeah.
Yep, I know the buildings and grounds guys would really like to do something because they keep trying to seed it in and it's just not working.
You know, it's a losing battle, and we should have just had it blacktopped when they did over by the the food truck.
In other words, it's the Islanders, Cranberry Islanders.
Yeah, well, it started with them, no deny, but it's everybody else.
Okay, I shouldn't have brought that up. Sorry.
Yes, you should. And
When are we
another
supposed to
thing,
see the plan?
I think at some point next spring, we'll have a plan presented to us.
if
They're
you're-
still waiting on the stuff from the survey we did, so they can start working on their plan.
and maybe when you're talking to Tony sometime, they could line the road properly where the food truck is, because
I had that discussion with him the other day. I actually had to go for a ride with him to look at something. And he even mentioned that he thought it was too far off center now. And I said it'd be nice to have a white line that marked the edge of that parking.
yes,
Would.
yeah.
It's kind of a free-for-all on that corner.
He sure is.
I find doing it myself when there's no one there, I'm halfway into that parking, making that corner.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody's coming the other way too, doing the same thing.
Okay, everyone happy?
Oh, lovely.
I think it was a good meeting.
Yep.
All right.
Just your presence made me happy, Rick.
Oh, Howie, I don't know what to say. That'll get you a vote and a half.
Thank you.
All right,
Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn, seconded.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I.
Aye,
Aye.
goodbye.
Opposed. Thank you very much, everybody.